More now on that crisis in Ukraine, which remains a divided country tonight, one that's teetering between establishing bonds with Europe and the U.S., and another that is leaning toward returning back into Moscow's fold. Michelle Carusa-Cabrera reports now from Kiev on the latest news out of Ukraine and why it matters to all of us.
The political situation in Ukraine is much calmer today compared to what we saw late last week, when there was terrible bloodshed as the protesters rose up against the government. Although the situation is calmer politically, though, financially it is not. This country needs to borrow money and borrow it fast. Right now, the government is running a deficit. That means every single day it spends more money than it takes in tax revenues. And in normal times, they could borrow that money from the international markets. But traditional lenders won't give them any money right now because the political situation is so uncertain. So they have to turn to someone. They could turn to the European Union and the IMF, and the United States has said they would help as well. Or Ukraine could turn to Russia, its biggest trading partner. And that is the core of the issue and why the United States is so interested in this. Where will Ukraine end up? In whose political satellite? The West or the East? Russia is very concerned about having a country aligned with the EU so close to them, so they're probably going to be willing to do a lot, extend loans with very few requirements in order to keep Ukraine within their sphere of influence. However, the protesters on the ground and why they rose up 3 months ago is that they don't want their government to do that. They want their government to turn toward the West, where there's greater transparency, better governance, and a lot more clarity about how democracy works. How this all plays out is unclear. There's a temporary government, and over the next several days, they're going to try to hammer out some kind of agreement, political and financial. The outcome is deeply uncertain. For Nightly Business Report, I'm Michelle Carusa-Cabrera, Kiev, Ukraine.